everyone, Kim Horcher and John Iadarola back again, still in the hostage situation, talking about Fear the Walking Dead, Episode 2, So Close Yet So Far, which is how I feel about the series thus far.
Really? You think it's that close?
Oh, well, I mean, there were some frustrating elements of this episode for me. We started with a Travis?
That's the father figure.
Frantically trying to get out of LA and save his family, and then that plan gets dragged down unnecessarily, I felt, throughout the episode. I mean, there's a trope I dislike in movies that is used often, which is there's a problem. It could be easily solved if people communicate with each other,
but then
they choose not to, and then it just drags on, and all of these easily solvable problems happen. If they would have just told bless you, Chris and Alicia, you know, what's going on, they would have been able to get moving.
But couldn't that have possibly caused even bigger problems? I mean, that's like trying to explain. First of all, they might think that you're crazy when you say, by the way, we just killed this dude 3 times. He's a zombie. We don't know what's going on, but there's zombies around. They may not believe you. She may think, well, no, I'm going to save him. If he's in this much trouble, then it's all the more important that I cure him of this disease. Like, people don't always respond rationally.
Well, I mean, it's fun to watch this with the point of view of having watched 5 seasons of The Walking Dead now, and you know exactly what's going on. But these people don't have any idea what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the mom, the other mom that showed up at the end that he's now with, Lisa.
Is it Lisa or Lisa?
I think it's Lisa, I think. But in any event, she seemed to sort of get it without needing all of the information. Like, it's somehow
she
had.
It, though?
I felt like she understood the threat. Maybe she was worried more about
we have a set schedule. It is court
ordered. early on. But once they go to the protest, maybe she was just mostly afraid of the protest and how clearly violent it was going to be. But it seemed like she understood that this is not. We're not fucking around anymore. Like, we need to get inside or whatever. I like that. The complications have brought in new characters. That you have
the Salazar family. The
Salazar family with Ophelia.
Ophelia's the daughter.
I hope she's in future episodes. She's cool. And you had the kid join up with the mom. It's going to take a while for names to really sink in.
Chris, the kid?
No, the kid who wanted his knife back.
Tobias.
Tobias.
I think Tobias is the most interesting character
He's pretty awesome. And I think the mom is the most interesting character, but Tobias is interesting too.
Tobias knows what's going on. He is in survival mode. I think he's the exposition factory for this show.
He doesn't know everything. I mean, after all, he was stabbing like there.
Yeah, well, he'll figure it out. But he so far has had the most prophetic vision of what's going on.
He's been paying attention to other places and
stuff. He knows what, maybe he watches The Walking Dead in this universe or reads the comic book. He knows what's going on. There was something, when you brought up the protest, that I found interesting in this, which is when they shot the guy, the crowd was pushing back against the police and saying that man was unarmed, how dare you, how could you do this, this is brutality, we deserve to film this. That echoes a lot of real world events. What place does civil unrest and authority figures have in this show and in this world?
Yeah, so as the protests started to break out, I thought, well, God, like if not for this, maybe they could contain it. Like, you see the cops, they're like tending each other's wounds and stuff, so they don't totally get it yet, but they know more than they're telling, and they shoot the zombie woman, they shoot her in the head. Like, they're starting to get it. It's that the people are going to cause so much more violence and make it impossible for the cops to be able to go do what they need to do, and that is exactly what would happen in the real world, I bet.
Do you think
people would go crazy?
There's an anti-protest message in this?
Probably, and look, I'm not down with that, but inside of this world, it seems, it didn't, like when they started breaking cars and stuff like that, it didn't feel like that much of a leap. It felt like that could happen. And I liked the message from Tobias that when things fall apart, they fall apart quickly. It does seem like... Yeah, and
that kid is right.
Yeah, he is right. I wasn't that thrilled for this show, and I understand that it's going slow, even though I generally like the way it's going slow. But I am very happy now that we're getting a chance to see the actual process.
Like, I understand they're never getting out of LA, but it just bothered me that he was frantically going and pushing and trying to like make this plan come together, and it just fell apart. And there's so many ways it could have worked. I
don't know. I mean, like even if they get on the highway, like I bet a lot of people are trying to leave and go north or wherever it was that they were going.
We know outside of the setting, leaving will not help.
Well, the desert has to be safer than LA. LA's got to be one of the worst possible places you could be.
Well,
maybe
if
Manhattan
you can find
or something.
suitable shelter in the desert, yeah, do it.
Yeah, as long as you could find like a supermarket. I mean, there's going to be some zombies there, but I think it's less likely that, like, LA is going to be, in a month and a half, it's going to be 10 million zombies.
It's going to look like Atlanta in the first episode of The Walking Dead.
Exactly, or worse maybe. I mean, depending on how much the military goes in and wipes out people and everything.
I would love to see how military works into this.
We're going to see that.
We just saw a touch of it in the beginning of The Walking Dead.
They kept showing the shields coming in.
The riot police.
Was that supposed to be more ominous than it was? Like, they didn't actually do anything, really. And there weren't that many of them.
I think that lent more to the anti-protest vibes to me.
Maybe.
But I want to see what the military action is, you know, what, I'm sure someone's called a national state of emergency, you know, what kind of intervention federally are we going to see, if any at all? I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see the response and then use it to remember in the future when that happens to us.
Yeah, maybe.
For sure.
And I love that they're focusing on the fact that clearly the government knows more than regular people do, but they're not saying anything, really.
Do they?
They're saying, well, I mean, you see the cops stockpiling water. Like, they're preparing for something. They may not know it's zombies.
This is bad, but they don't know what it is yet.
I think that they have started to see that people that have gotten bitten die and come back. They've probably seen that people that die even without getting bitten come back. Like, they must have, in various places, because we've heard that this is in different states, they must have seen this happening, and somebody's got to be putting something together. But I'm excited for, as you said, the military. Like, we got to see, and this is something that we always missed in The Walking Dead, we saw her close the door on the person getting bitten. And we've seen that before, but we haven't seen it when people are still humans. Exactly.
Yes.
Like, she had to do it. And I was reading a review where they talked about how, like, that's something that Rick couldn't understand, and that's totally true. Like, she knew that woman, and she even thought earlier in the episode about helping her, but now she's going to be a zombie.
Was she the woman who was setting up the bouncy house?
I think so.
Wow. Because I knew the attack was happening in the bouncy house yard.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was her,
And I think it was the sick neighbor who was coughing that was attacking. It seemed like a big, portly guy.
Right. I didn't even think about that.
I think so.
You're right.
But I think that is a sign of the sort of violence we're going to see. And I think at some point we're going to see the military wiping out civilians. Like, there's going to be some zombies in a crowd, they're going to bomb the crowd or something like that. People are going to be trying to storm a military base, they're going to gun them down. Like, I think we're going to see that probably at the end of this season.
So are you looking forward to the rest of the season?
More than I was, yeah.
I really need.
I like that they're broken up and they have to get back together. I like that things are falling apart kind of slowly. I like that there's new characters. I hate those things that you love.
I hate them. They don't need to be broken up. It doesn't have to be so slow.
But if they made it to the desert, then we're in the desert.
At least get together.
There's a cactus. No, I think this is good. I was worried that it was just going to be that one family, but now we're bringing in new characters, new people to die.
I mean, if you looked at the poster, you would have seen this house.
I haven't seen any posters, actually. I don't know anything about that. I'm interested to see how long Tobias lasts, because he has the knowledge, but physically he doesn't seem...
I like him.
I don't think he lives.
I think he's my favorite character so far.
Yeah, the brother and sister I'm not too interested in. Yeah, she's willing to go out there lying to her parents to save him.
If they would have just told her what's going on with her boyfriend, it would have been better.
Yeah, young people are too immature. She couldn't deal with it.
That's what bothered me so much, was the communication breakdown.
Yeah. I like that you had the one family willing to, like, we saw some altruism. They let Travis and the family in. I'm excited, actually.
All right. Well, that makes one of us. I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot, but I have to have it move more quickly. This is too slow for me, too grating. It has the beginning of a zombie movie vibe, but it's been collectively 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's too long for me.
Well,
but
we'll see.
You know what? I could be wrong. Maybe you feel differently, audience.
Really, really fast. We're seeing a sort of exponential growth of number of zombies per episode. So we should see at least 8 in this next one.
I demand 80!
80 zombies. Okay, we'll have our first horde, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I need to see a chainsaw
and
a crossbow.
Yeah, they do need to arm
I miss
themselves.
the regular Walking Dead, I think, is the problem.
With katanas and stuff. Yeah, but they'll get there. We get to see that journey, and it'll be all the more powerful for that.
Grit.
Yeah.
Dirt. Okay. And Daryl. Anyway.
Okay, we're not going to get Daryl.
Tune into next week when we review episode 3. This time, I'm pretty sure we'll not be in the hostage situation room anymore, and we will be joined by our pals, Alonzo and Francis. Thanks for watching.